between the two mountain ranges on this island, the Waianae and Ko'olau Range is a very significant and sacred place known as Kukaniloko. Kukaniloko houses the birthing stones of many Oahu Island kings and queens. And here's a chant that first appeared in the Hawaiian language newspaper Ko'oko'a in May of 1925. No Kukaniloko Ku'ualoha by John Howe.
Kawika Waikiki, kawika lalakina hill. Loku kaniloko ko alwake, panoho kula ala kua. Kaihanao iuna ali hoi hoi a Hawaii. Loku kaniloko ko alwake, panoho kula ala kua. Kaihanao iuna ali hoi hoi a Hawaii. Kawika Waikiki, kawika lalakina hill. Wale ki kuile ahile, hoki pano kamali. Apa amai kai ka vai o ki hau alo ki kuwa kawika Waikiki, kawika lalakina hill. Hale hale mai ana ke ala o malino anu. Au ai ka vai kuai kua vai ko heno ana alu. Kawika Waikiki, kawika lalakina hill. Na maho i a ka kui hewa ana kua kana i au kuli. Na la mai a po ni maka i Kawika Waikiki, kawika lalakina hill. Ahi puku vai kua me ka viho ole kuni malu hi ano ka lahui. Hui pau ia mai ngā ai lana mai hawa ki ani i hau. Noho o malo ia me ki kau ki ke mamala hoa kana vai. Haina ia mai ana kapuana no kukaniloko ko aloha. Kawika Waikiki, kawika lalakina hill. Hei noa no kawawa, kakuhina.
In the name of Kakuhina, the once king of the island of Oahu, and in the name of the sacred birthing stones known as Kukaniloko. Aloha, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the International Marketplace, the show Onalani, celebrating the legacy of our beloved queen, Queen Emma. And you know, some of you may remember the older International Marketplace. The traditional name of this place is Kaluokau. Kaluokau was once owned by King Kamehameha the Great and then passed down to another who would become King William Charles Lunalilo. At his death, this property was then passed over to our beloved queen. And much of Waikiki served as a place of R&R for the residents. And the same would be for the queen and her family. But sadly, tragedy would strike and Hawaii would lose its hope in the future king in the loss of young Prince Albert Kauikeaoli at the age of 4. The grieving mother she was, she added a name to herself. She gave herself a new name. She called herself Kalaleo Kalani, the flight of the Royal One. And then sadly, just 15 months later, Hawaii lost its king and our queen lost her husband. In the passing of Kamehameha IV, still grieving the loss of her son, she took that name she gave herself and she modified it. She called herself Kalaleo Nalani, the flight of the Royal Ones. It was her strength and it was the aloha and support from our people that helped her through such difficult times.
Ma Coco. Oh here. Oh here, what le moe ka o manu leo na he o ka uka. Oh here. Oh here, what le moe ka o manu leo na he o ka uka. No ka ke ala ilia hi ka hiko i ka launa au. No ka ke ala ilia hi ka hiko i ka launa au. Wanawe mai ohe i ane i a ka hui ke ano ahi ahi. Wanawe mai ohe i ane i a ka hui ke ano ahi ahi. Huli hoi hanaya ka malama ia iho ke aloha. Huli hoi hanaya ka malama ia iho ke aloha.
Her people call to their queen, "Where are you, O sweet-voiced bird of the forest?" In the upland, the fragrance of the sandalwood perfumes the leaves of the trees. Return to your home where you can find love. May love be your constant companion. This is our praise, and may all hear the name Emalani.
Haina kapuana ilohe ia o emalani no he inoa. Haina kapuana ilohe ia o emalani no he inoa. E ala, e ala, e a. Aie. Hei noa no kalele o nalani.
Hei nono kalaleo nalani. In the name of kalaleo nalani, our queen. Once again, aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Onalani series here at Kaluokau, Waikiki Kai. Aloha. Aoia, a elilona lilo oia u. Ahana, ona ona la, ko makai anei e kaipo. Aine ui, he ui ono kawahine leo hone, manu leo le aio, mahimi, na uoi, na uoi e aheo. Kawika wale puna homa na olai laila. Ohihi, au ono ko nui kino na okai wale no. E oia ume hana kaua. Me au oi ulu nei puwai, ai ala weha, ai loana ni oia. Well, once again, welcome to the Onalani series. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30. We celebrate the legacy of Queen Emma Kalaleo Nalani, her husband, King Kamehameha IV, and of course, their child, Prince Albert Kawika. Our queen left much of her estate to a trust that helped support the building of a hospital. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But because of that, the trust also owns this land on which these beautiful shops and shopping centers sit. It's just an old Hawaiian custom. When I say aloha to you and you, it's just an old Hawaiian custom. When I say that I love you too, I love to sing for you a native melody and give a lay to you to make you happy. It's just an old Hawaiian custom. When I say aloha to you, when I say aloha to you, ilona liloia. We celebrate Waikiki. Many Hawaiian names you'll notice has the word vai in it. Vai means fresh water, that life-giving resource sent from Kiakua above, raining down into our beautiful Hawaii. And we celebrate it with the many places that are named with the word vai. Waikiki, spouting or percolating water. For there were many, many beautifully situated water areas because of the springs. Tons of springs here. And the water would rain down in the water table, the rain would rain down in the water table up in the Yuka, the uplands, a place called Manoa. And then they would percolate right back up here. We understood that that resource was so important to us and we took care of it. Here's a beautiful song that was written by Kimo Alama Keaulana that celebrates that green, beautiful, verdant area known as Manoa. Manoa with a song, Nani Manoa. So some of you may have known that there was an older international marketplace that stood here for many decades before this one reopened about 7 years ago. And if you remember the older international marketplace, you'll remember one of Hawaii's greatest nightclubs here in Waikiki. It was called Kahanamoku's nightclub. And it honored the icon of the water, the great idol. And his name was Duke Kahanamoku. He was born right here across the street in a place called HULA. And the Duke was a hero of the water. His prowess was anything in the water. Surfing, swimming, diving, canoe paddling. So much so he was invited to 5 Olympic Games. And in those games he earned bronze, silver, and even gold medals. And in 1925, while he wasn't doing the Olympics, he was invited to make some movies in Hollywood. He made over 100, most of them non-credited, movies in Hollywood. One day sitting on the beach in Hollywood, or in California, not in Hollywood, in California, he saw a ship begin to sink. Without hesitation, the Duke grabbed the surfboard, went out and rescued 8 people from a perilous fate. Some others didn't make it, but the Duke saved 8. And you know why it's important? Not because the Duke, that's not what I'm telling you, but it's because from that day on, surfers throughout the world began using surfboards in their rescues. Looks like our junior Dukes are ready to take the stage with a song honoring the Duke. It's called Duke Kahanamoku Ritibako, Salt A Bright. When he returned to Honolulu, he became the sheriff of Honolulu, a post he held till about his death on January 22nd, 1968. Now those of you dying to see, what does this hero look like? You may have already seen him. There's a statue in his honor. You go out the beach this way after the show. And then you go up a bit, you'll see the Duke with his arms open wide, welcoming you to his beaches. So you know, when he returned also, there was a new genre of Hawaiian music. It was called hapa haole. Hapa meaning part, haole meaning, well, not Hawaiian. It really was the essence of Hawaiian music with English lyrics. Now some of those lyrics played beautiful ballads of love and of Hawaii, and sometimes, well, they were so-so. But that was the characteristic of this time and genre. Let's take a peek into that magical type of Hawaiian music called hapa haole. Tropical climb when they do the hula hula dance. I fell in love with this tropical dove while learning the funny dance. This little kid, why she never did a bit of loving before. So I made up my mind that I'd strike a fight with the only girl that I would adore. Well, I love a pretty little hapa haole hula girl with her non-little wiggle. Hula girl, she can surely make you giggle. Hula girl with her non-little someday I'm gonna make this little hapa girlie of mine, all the time I could see. She flew to the east and she flew to the west. Oh, I'll get no rest until I find her back in Manoa. I wonder where my little hula girl has gone. She's no longer on the beach at Waikiki. We should be together in a little hula heaven beside the silvery sea. So gay and free together in a little hula heaven under a cocoa tree. Days will be lazy and sweetly crazy. Skies will grow hazy above. We're all alone together, just you and I in a little hula heaven, living a dream of love. Well, I love my pretty little hapa hula girl with her naughty little wiggle. Hula girl, she can truly make you giggle. Hula girl with her naughty little hula. Someday I'm gonna make this little hapa girlie of mine, girlie of mine. All the time I'm dreaming of her, my hapa hula girl. All the time I'm dreaming of her, my hapa hula girl. All the time I'm dreaming of her, my hapa hula girl. Oh, people. You know, the cellophane hula skirt was brought by Dorothy Lamour to Hawaiian movies. Hey, what's that? Tahitian Hotel Festival drums. If you came to the old International Marketplace that's stood here for many generations, and you were walking up or down Kalakaua or Kuhio Avenues, you'd hear the drumming, and you'd want to be drawn right into this place. You would find a beautifully exciting culture, a new culture, a culture mixed of Hawaiian and South Polynesian, so the South Pacific. Some of the beautiful dances of Tahiti, fire knife dancing from Samoa, and even the hula from Hawaii. And although we have our own culture and our own language, we celebrate the culture of our ancestors as well as our cousins of the South Pacific. But so many folks came here, visitors, that they thought that Tahitian dancing and the Samoan dancing, they were Hawaiian. So you go, this is Hawaiian dancing. And although we'd love to take credit, we're not going to take credit. We're going to make sure we give credit where credit's due to our cousins of the Pacific. And it's important because we say in Hawaiian, we the people of Polynesia are one family. For this reason, we even celebrate culture by sharing a lot of it right here. In the new International Marketplace, there's signage all over telling you about this place, Kaluokau, even before we were born. Celebrating the culture, the art of hula and dance, and even taro farming, and so much excitement. In fact, the International Marketplace now is divided into 3 courtyards. The upper courtyard is called the Mauka courtyard, Mauka meaning upland, and it honors that life-giving resource called vai, or fresh water. The Makai, or seaside courtyard, is called the Banyan courtyard, and it honors that age-old banyan tree that has stood there for so long. And we are in the Queen's courtyard. The Queen's courtyard, of course, honoring our beloved Queen, Queen Emma Kalaleona. And it's so important, as I mentioned before, because I'll tell you a little bit more, but she created a trust that would establish where we are and why we're here. So it looks like our dancers are ready to celebrate with us now. So let's call them to the stage. Yaurana! Hi, Mai! flagship time of Polynesian pop culture here in the international marketplace of days gone by. And you know, I love to share about these stories like Martin Denny, Quiet Village, and folks like Don Ho that really have brought a lot of light and aloha to Hawaii. But friends, I need to tell you the deeper story of our beloved queen who had a home here at the international marketplace when it was called Kalu'okau. Queen Emma Kalaleonalani Nayaruk was born on January 2nd, 1836. She was born to High Chief George Naya and High Chiefess Fanny Kekalokalani Young, both of whom had familial connection to the Kamehameha dynasty. And in a very Hawaiian manner, our queen was Lavehanai'a. She was adopted by her mother's sister, High Chiefess Grace Young Rook, and her husband, Dr. Thomas Rook. Now, for this reason, our queen, as a young girl, spent a lot of time in her father's clinics helping her people and establishing this interest in taking care of their well-being. I really believe it was that experience that led to the queen's deciding that when she was going to create this trust, that she would do so to build a hospital. Hospital called Queen's Medical Center today. And you know, when it was established, the only level A trauma center in the entire Pacific. What great vision our queen had. And that vision led to building a trust that would even include a shopping center like this that would help to contribute funds for that hospital. So know that when you are here visiting us, that in your own way, you're sending your aloha to the legacy of our queen. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you this evening, portraying our queen, the lovely Mrs. Leilani Kaho'ano. This is my favorite time of show. Why? Because the queen comes to life on stage and I get to tell you about her some more. As I mentioned, the queen and king, they become the sovereigns. They actually become in the 20s. They're in their 20s when they become the sovereign. Queen is widowed at 29. The king passes away at 29. But it didn't stop her. She continued to find money because the kingdom didn't pay for this. It was her personal money. It was from folks who helped build this hospital. And the queen did so much to do this and build this legacy. So the hospital continues. Kamehameha V is the older brother of Kamehameha IV. And then he becomes king and he dies on his birthday without leaving an heir or naming an heir successor. So the Hawaiian Kingdom legislature has to gather and select among the highest of ali'i, royalty, who could become sovereign. They elect a cousin, William Charles Lunalilo, and he was the owner of this property. Now, the king dies 13 months later without naming an heir. So another election has to be held. This time our queen says, I have the pedigree. She throws her name in the hat. She petitions to become the sovereign again. For this, she goes to Kauai, where she is greeted by hundreds of chants and songs written in her honor to show the people supported her. One of those chants are captured on this beautifully glass atrium elevator right here. You can see it there. Goes to Maui, where she is greeted by thousands of her subjects who swam out to her ship. Uanua kalehua awikikai, how it poetically unfolds in a song written for her. Goes to Hawaii Island, ascends the world's highest volcano, Mauna Kea, where she bathes in a ceremonial bath in the world's highest lake, Lake Wai'au. She then makes her way down to the slopes into an area called Kalapana. Kalapana had a tradition in which they pulled down the coconut tree for the ali, the royalty, to show them that even nature bows to the ali. Well, the story goes that the queen was still coming in on her carriage and they hadn't even pulled the tree down. It is said that the queen said, I'm no better than they are. She jumps out of the carriage, grabs the rope, and helps them pull the tree down. They call that tree Kaniumoe o Queen Emma, or the sleeping coconut tree of Queen Emma. That tree could be seen there until the 1990s when lava finally took it. So many songs and testimonies were written about our queen and stories. She did not win the election. David Kalakaua becomes our king. But our queen never stopped helping her hospital, building it, until sadly she succumbed to her second stroke and passed away at the age of 49. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing us to be here this evening. Our final melody, our final song, celebrates the legacy of the grandfather of our king. His name was Kamehameha the Great. He was the founder of the Hawaiian Kingdom, and this song, Kana'io Huri, captures his final words, his charge to his people. Kuau It is this time we get to thank you for sharing your time on this Friday evening. Again, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sharing the legacy of our beloved Queen Emma. Learn more about her. Go visit her palace, which is standing. Now, that's not the palace in Honolulu. You may visit that one too, but it's up a little bit in Nu'uanu. It's called the Queen Emma Summer Palace. Go see and learn more about our Queen. And if you've learned something this evening, may I encourage you to post it on TripAdvisor and share with the world what you learned about our Queen. Mahalo nui, aku nei mākou ia o kua pango. Mahalo nui. Aloha.